In 2021, I did more traveling than ever before, visited more parks than any other year, and had more roller coaster rides than any other year. However, most of my park visits were to places that I had been to before, so my new credits for the year didn't reach the lofty stats of previous years, 103 in 2018, 194 in 2019, and 62 in 2020. This year I picked up 49 new credits, which I'm still happy with since new credits were not my main focus for the year. I did get to some new parks as well as many family entertainment centers, plus I returned to some parks where I was missing some credits. So for some of the parks represented here, my favorite at the park was ridden in previous years. I have yet to post vlogs from some of the coasters on this list, so those will be coming later. In this list, I will exclude the kiddie coasters and junior coasters unless there was something special about them that allowed them to make the cut. So let's get into it. Numbers 31 and 30 are Giant Dipper at Belmont Park in San Diego and West Coaster at the Santa Monica Pier. Same story with both. They don't really do anything, but they have a nice setting. 29 is Freeway Coaster at Adventure City in Anaheim for the great freeway theming on the ride. 28 is Runaway Train at Page's Crossing in Northeast Indiana. This is not a kiddie coaster. It's got a couple wild moments on it. 27 and 26 are the first two Schwarzkopf Wildcats I've ever ridden. These are at Adventure Park USA and Jolly Roger, both in Maryland. I hope for more from these, but they're still fun rides. 25 is Screamin' Centipede at Tomfooleries in Round Rock, Texas, specifically for the hamster wheel car. That car took a tame junior coaster and turned it into a borderline thrill coaster. Numbers 24 through 21 are 4 different spinning Wild Mouse coasters, topped by Ragin' Cajun at Six Flags America. I think these rides are great. Wild Mouse coasters are always fun, and adding the spinning makes it so much better. 20 is Tidal Wave, the boomerang at Trippers in Maryland. Even the shakiest boomerang ever is still a good ride to me. 19 is Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld San Diego. It's better than San Antonio's, but not as good as Orlando's. 18 is Rolo Coaster at Idlewild in Pennsylvania. It's a short, forceless layout, but it's very quirky and I love the hillside setting. 17 is Rewind Racers at Adventure City in Anaheim. This is a very unique and fun family shuttle coaster. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. 16 is Barracuda, the Zaire Flitzer at Jolly Roger in Maryland. Maybe my favorite ever of this style of ride. 15 is Wild Mouse at Idlewild, the rare Vekoma Wild Mouse that rarely operates. This has some wild turns and drops and some jarring stops. It's the craziest and best Wild Mouse I have ever ridden. 14 is Skyliner at Lakemont Park in Pennsylvania. It's got some brutally rough spots, but it has some amazing airtime moments, and I love the setting next to the baseball stadium. 13 is Super Duper Looper at Hershey Park. It's a simple old Schwarzkopf coaster with a single loop, but it interacts with other rides and still rides very smooth. 12 is Leap the Dips at Lakemont Park, the oldest coaster in the world, a 1902 side friction coaster. Despite having literally no restraint, it actually does give some airtime and feels very chaotic. I even valleyed on one of my 16 rides. The old school charm of this is off the charts. 11 is Iron Shark, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter at the Galveston Pleasure Pier. The back row was very smooth, while the front was quite rough. It's got great airtime on the drop, plus some inversions, and the placement out over the water is incredible. Number 10 is Jersey Devil, the RMC Raptor at Six Flags Great Adventure. This was a bit of a disappointment, as it's the first RMC that I don't view as an elite coaster. I did ride it at night, and I rode it 10 times, several in the back. The airtime is great in the back 2 seats, but the rest of the train was pretty forceless for me, and the sitting position was causing me structural pain like it was trying to snap my knee tendons. The seats are far worse than the seats on the original Raptors. Number 9 is Big Dipper at Camden Park in West Virginia. This old school Woody with buzz bars will give insane ejector airtime on the drop if you ride towards the back. It has some bumpy spots, but nothing bad at all. There are some other modest airtime moments as well, but that drop is the highlight. Number 8 is Looping Star at Jolly Roger in Maryland, the only Pinfari I have ever ridden. Yes, I am ranking a Pinfari ahead of an RMC. Looping Star has comfortable seats, and leaning my head forward prevents any chance of headbanging. And riding in the back, the drop has outstanding ejector airtime, followed by a forceful loop, and it has a great setting on the pier. Number 7 reaches my top 100, actually my top 60. It is Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio. It is smooth and has excellent airtime and rapid-fire elements that the top-tier GCI Woodies are known for. Number 6 is Kentucky Rumbler at Beach Bend, another GCI Woody. This one surprised me so much. I was expecting a lower-tier GCI, but this ended up being one of my favorites, ranking it one spot behind Mystic Timbers overall. It has great airtime and laterals and is maybe the best layout of any GCI in the country. Number 5 is Copperhead Strike, the mock multi-launch coaster at Carowinds. This provides some of the best hang time in the country and also mixes in some great airtime moments and rapid-fire transitions. Number 4 is Batwing, the Vekoma Flying Dutchman at Six Flags America. If not for Manta's placement and its queue and my history with it, Batwing would be my favorite flyer of all because the ride experience is the best. It is extremely intense with great pacing and it rides glossy smooth. Number 3 is Stormrunner, the Intamin launch coaster at Hershey Park. This is close to being my favorite hydraulic launch coaster. The launch and top hat are great, but it also has more to the layout, making it feel like a more complete ride. Number 2 is Boardwalk Bullet at Kemah Boardwalk in Texas. This Gravity Group masterpiece fits into such a tiny plot. It's a long ride as it twists and winds through its own structure, while also delivering great floater and ejector airtime, and it rides incredibly smooth. It looked like this could have been the second straight year for Gravity Group to take my top spot for the year, with Voyage being my top 2020 credit. However, in November, I was able to get on a ride that easily tops this list. It is Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure in Orlando, the Intamin Blitz coaster. I felt like I was the last person on Earth to ride this thing, but it finally happened. It has great airtime, great inversions, comfortable restraints, elaborate theming in the queue and during the first half of the ride, then an even more extreme second half, finishing the ride with my favorite element on any coaster, the Mosasaurus roll over the water with great visuals and upside-down ejector airtime. The hype for this ride is real, as it's kind of the perfect roller coaster. I can see why some people have it as their overall number 1. Is it mine? Well, that list will be coming out sometime later this winter. I'll just say that it belongs in the discussion. Let me know in the comments what your favorite new credits were for 2021. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.